I've been making and selling things in this tiny little workshop for the past 10 years. And the one thing that I have a really hard time working around is the lack of space. I have tried all sorts of space-saving techniques to give me enough room to have all of my tools in here and still have room to walk around on the floor or use the floor if I need to. Luckily, I have a driveway that I can drag all of my crap out into if I need to, but in these cold months, that can be really difficult. So I think I've come up with a very simple solution, and I think you'll enjoy. So stick around and let's get to work. Today we're building this rolling cabinet that is right behind me. I've been wanting to redo this back wall for a while now. A friend of mine gave me a whole bunch of 70s wood paneling out of a house that he is remodeling, and that's one of my favorite looks, so I grabbed it from him and decided to put it on the back wall here. I ended up putting it on some side walls, but we'll get to that, don't worry. I feel like the simple design of this cabinet will give a real nice look with this wood paneling on the back wall, and not to mention the video that I did last, which was this floating shelf with recessed lighting. I'll be able to light up the top of this cabinet and give me a real nice work surface to work on. That's well lit. You get it. Can I just stop for a second and ask you for a real simple thing? If you're enjoying these videos, hit like, subscribe, share it. It really means a lot to me. I'm trying to get this channel going, and I've been doing this for 3 years now. I have over 100 videos. Go down, watch my old videos. I think you'll really enjoy them. Thank you. I really appreciate it. Okay, back to the build. So far, all I've really done is break down all of my 3/4 inch plywood using my track saw. I cut everything a little oversized, knowing that I was going to bring it over to my table saw and rip it to its final length or width. A track saw is a great option for this if you don't have one. A circular saw with a straight edge works great too. But I have a Wen track saw that I got for very cheap, and if there's a link on Amazon, I'll put it down in the description, so go check it out. Definitely worth it. It's one of the tools I use the most in my workshop, especially if I'm breaking down plywood. So I just used glue and brad nails to get everything put together before I went ahead and used screws to make sure it was extra secure. I used a speed square to just mark out all of the spots before I started gluing and nailing all of this together to make sure everything was nice and square. Once I had all of these pieces of wood screwed and glued together, I could stand it up and start putting some strips across the top to help square everything up and make it more stable. I used the cabinet itself to mark and measure all of these boards before I brought them up to the top. Building a cabinet like this can be kind of overwhelming, but really it's just a big box. It's just a lot of square cuts. I think the hardest part is keeping everything square, actually. And you'll find out whether or not it's square once you go to put the cabinet doors on or your drawers, because if it's not, nothing's going to fit right. But if you're new to woodworking and you're worried about trying something like this, just go for it. It's really not that hard. These boards just go in between each side of the cabinet to help keep everything square. It also gives you a spot where you can secure the cabinet to your wall if you're going to do that, but like I said, this is going to be a rolling cabinet for me, so there's no need for me to attach this to the wall. So I really didn't want to invest any money into the drawer slides. I just took some strips of 3/4 inch by 3/4 inch pine and nailed and glued them inside of the cabinets, as you can see. Once I had them nailed to where I wanted them, I could go back and use some screws to just reinforce them. I want to be able to take these drawers out of the cabinet and carry them around my shop, because I'm assuming they're going to have a lot of screws and stuff like that in it, and I want to be able to bring them from spot to spot when I need them. Using some good quality drawer slides might have made it a bigger pain in the ass to remove these drawers from the cabinet. So I kept it simple and just used the wood like you can see. I want a shelf on either side of this cabinet just to give me more options for storage. To attach these, it was real simple. As you can see, I just put some boards underneath the shelves while I glued and screwed them into place. This just helps to make sure that everything is nice and level. Once that was done, I took those same boards that I just used and started ripping them to width. These are going to go on the outsides of the cabinet. I need a spot to store all of my stains and paints, glues, things like that. So I'm going to be putting shelves on either side of the cabinet, and these are going to be the face and the back of these shelves. Once I had them cut to length and width, I brought them outside and used some glue and brad nails to attach them. After that, I just cut some more of my plywood to make my cabinet doors. I'm not too worried about the plies of the plywood showing on these cabinet doors, but if I were making this for in my house or somebody else's, I would definitely be hiding them because I am not a big fan of the plies showing. To build these drawers, I kept it extremely simple and cut all my boards to width and length for the front, back, and two sides of each drawer, glued and screwed them together. Typically when I'm making drawers, I want to make them a little bit nicer than this, but like I said earlier, I'm going to be carrying a lot of heavy stuff around in these drawers, so I wanted to make sure they were extra strong and not going to fall apart. I cut 1/2-inch plywood to the exact width and depth of the bottom of the drawer, and then I could just use some screws and glue to screw this 1/2-inch plywood directly onto the bottom. This will ensure that these drawers are very strong and won't fall apart over the years. I cut some drawer faces with some of the leftover 3/4-inch plywood that I used for the rest of this cabinet, and then I just brad nailed it onto the front, and then I could open up the drawer and put some screws in from the back. And that's when I realized that the screws were too long for this, and it went straight through and right into my finger. So I just tilted them on an angle because I didn't have any more short screws and screwed them in. Once that was done, I threw these hinges onto the front. I like the way these looked showing because they were black, and the hardware for the drawers and cabinets is going to be black, so I thought it would all kind of pull it together. To make sure that the hardware for the cabinets was even with one another, I just made the simple little jig like you can see right there. Then I could drill a hole and insert my hardware. To put the hardware into the drawers, I just marked an X directly in the center and drilled a hole, and there we go. After that, I threw this frame around the entire top piece of this cabinet so that you wouldn't see the plies. Also, it gives a 3/4-inch lip around the entire cabinet, which just looks nice. I cut off the backs, gave everything a quick sand, added these shelves as you can see right there, and then it was time to do the part you've all been waiting for. Now, I know we've all seen these leaves or wings or whatever you want to call them that flip up on the back of cabinets, but the way that I hold them up is extremely cheap and works really great. If you watch my videos regularly, you have seen me use this on my miter saw stand, but all it is this piece of wood cut with a 45-degree angle on either side, and then a 45-degree angle piece on the bottom of the leaf and on the bottom of the cabinet itself. Now, when you lift up this leaf, you can slide your piece of wood into those 45s, and I put one on either side of the cabinet to make sure it was nice and secure. I'm going to start doing this to all of the things in my workshop. I think I'm going to add one to the end of my outfeed table so I can extend that. I believe I'm going to put one on my planer and maybe even my bandsaw. It just offers a little bit more stability and also gives me more work surfaces that aren't in my way when I don't want them to be in my way. But really, it's all about the simplicity and not having to spend my money on the brackets they make for this specific purpose. Once that was done, I could add these locking casters to the bottom so that everything rolls and locks into place where I need it. And after that, all that was left to do was put on some stain. But I couldn't stop there because I was so excited to redo this back wall. I decided to add these floating shelves and some more lights. And then I even made and put this little cabinet behind me that I could keep all my screwdrivers and chisels in. I put a TV up on the corner. I made a new spot to hold all my drills. And I added some more wood paneling. I am thrilled with the way this came out. Honestly, I just kind of want to come out here and not do any woodworking now and just watch TV and hang out. But I won't, don't worry. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I'm sorry it took me a minute to get back to making videos. I just took a little break for my own, mental health. I really appreciate you guys making it all the way to the end of this video, and I will see you in the next one. Love you. Goodbye.
Bye. See you again, and have a good dream.
Cheers.